A year and a half of virtual schooling, complete with sitting, slouching, and slacking off, has taken a toll on both our kids' postures and fitness and grades.
All right, and joining us now to share some back-to-school tips for parents to keep kids healthy is chiropractor Stephen Gray. Stephen, great to see you as always. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, for students going back to in-person learning, what do we need to know about backpacks and preventing back pain in kids?
So that's a great question. We know that incorrect backpack usage can lead to not only back pain, but also neck pain and even increased blood pressure. All three things we want to prevent in our children. There are two things I want you to remember from today. The first being the #1 predictor of back pain in kids from backpack usage is fatigue. What that looks like is your child complaining their back being tired or they want to take their backpack off. That's just a sign that maybe it's time to get a new backpack. The second being my 15% rule. So what I mean by that is trying to limit the weight of your child's backpack to 15% of their total body weight. This is going to keep their back safe. And as always, when buying a new backpack, always purchase one with reflective material on the back to protect for that extra nighttime safety.
Okay, great advice. Moving to kids who are going to stay virtually, doing virtual class, do you have tips for their posture and for limiting screen time?
Yeah, so screen time's a big thing now with kids because their learning is on screen, their playtime's on screen. But if we look at the Canadian 24-hour movement guidelines, they recommend limiting screen time to 2 hours a day. Now, let's consider that more about the recreational side of things. I know what you're thinking. How am I going to get my child from Paw Patrol outside? And what I always suggest is adding in a fun transition activity from shutting off that Netflix and booting the kids outdoors. Instead, pop on that Spotify playlist or your favorite 90s music video on YouTube. Get up and have a fun dance party with your children. This is not only going to get the heart pumping and the blood flowing, but it's also going to make sometimes feel like a punishment going outside, what it should feel like, which is playtime.
All right, anytime is a good time for a dance party, I say. Okay, how about the kids? I mean, the pandemic has been so tough on all of us, but particularly kids and students, and they might be feeling a little down. So how can parents implement exercise as a way, Stephen, to help with mental as well as physical health?
Yes, so we know exercise can help with mental health. But if we look at the United Kingdom's National Institute for Care Excellence guidelines, they actually recommend supervised exercise for adolescent depression. What they recommend specifically is 3 times a week of 45 minutes to an hour each session and signing up for about a 10 to 12 week program. Now, I know I'm a little biased being a former professional dancer, but signing your child up for something like group dance class is not only going to hit that exercise component where you're going to do strength training, flexibility, endurance, and power, but you're also going to add in that artistry and that musicality component, as well as that team socialization skill building. Also, if you look at the research, increasing activity can also lead to cognitive and academic performance. So if you're looking at turning those B's to an A this fall, maybe consider being more active.
All right. Okay. I can tell you this will be our biggest challenge, and that's shifting our bedtime time over the summer to the school time hours. That is always a tough one for us. What advice do you have for parents?
Yeah, so Labor Day weekend is coming up, and it's that dreaded shifting that summer bedtime, as you said, to school bedtime. What I like to recommend is looking at what we call sleep hygiene. And that's basic. That's just preparation for bedtime. One of the easiest things you can do is maybe a little bit of pre-bedtime. That's going to prepare them for bed and get them ready for that earlier bedtime. I'm going to show you now my favorite stretch. A lot of these stretches you can find on YouTube. There's a lot of short, effective videos that are actually geared towards kids and pre-bedtime yoga. So this stretch I'm going to show you today is called butterfly. You're going to have a seat on your bed or even on the floor, bringing the bottoms of your feet together, aligning your heels and your toes. From here, you're going to slowly walk those hands out until you feel that stretch in your hip. This is great because it's going to target those tight hip muscles from sitting all day in class, especially when you've been up playing all summer. From here, I actually recommend that kids walk their hands side to side, looking for areas of tension. From there, pausing when they feel that tightness, taking in some deep breaths, feeling that release, and then moving on to the other side. What this is going to do is it's going to take their focus from external stimuli and bring it inward, preparing them mentally for bedtime. And if you want a little more fun, from here, just have that nice swim through moment right onto your bed for sleep.
I knew that was coming. There's always something coming, a little extra from
Jeff.
Gray.
Jeff does that every Friday night.
Yeah.
Getting ready for bed.
Actually, I don't, because I was going to say if I did any of that, I'd need somebody to carry me to bed afterwards. Stephen, great stuff as always. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.